Hello, everybody. All right. So, I hope you guys can hear me. Check, 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 check. All right. So, I'm just testing the waters here. We want to see if maybe a later time in the day for the Q and A is going to work. What I would do is have two different times, one for the people in Europe and on that side of the world, and then one for the people over on this side of the world. If you have any questions, trumpet questions, go ahead and ask. Um, I'm just like I said, I'm just trying it out. Hello, how you doing, Sean? And if you have any comments about the time, let me know. Let me quickly go get my horn. All right. So, like I said, we're just trying it out at this time to see what happens. See if more people sign on as an experiment. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask. Ah, no questions. Well, maybe this will be a short one too. Like I said in the other video, if you guys have ideas for different times, please share your thoughts about that. Yeah, okay, I don't know what to do now. Huh. And the one earlier today, I let it go to 5 minutes. If we don't get a question in 5 minutes, I'll shut this one down too. So I did buy some new equipment. My old audio interface broke down. Actually, not the interface itself, but the computer it was on. Oh, I get it, Sean. I get it. Sean says he's driving. So yeah, not a good idea to type and drive at the same time. Okay, so we've got a few seconds left. Yeah, and I think interval studies. So interval studies are, now I've got interval studies in my book, and I think interval studies are a big deal. I think there's something about the skipping the notes, right? So we can all, once we get going along with like with the tonalization studies and stuff like that, I think it's very important to develop that ability to switch notes. Now, before we do interval studies, I think more of a prerequisite should be established. I think you should be doing arpeggios first. And I don't mean that chronologically. I mean that in terms of what's most important. If you're not doing arpeggios, if you're not doing arpeggios, I think it's very important to make sure you've got a habit of doing arpeggios. And then you can add to that the interval studies. I'm real big on that. Now, my interval studies lately have been a little bit more creative than just like the urban stuff. So I have little melodies that we do, and we also have interval studies that spider out. So, and I'm just making this up, but this would be an example. Right? So some people call those like spider exercises and stuff like that. So yes, I'm a big proponent of interval studies. I think now, like I said, I've always had in my routines, I've always had interval studies in my routines. And for those of you who might remember, before I wrote my own book, I was using traditional staples in my routines. So the intervals that I did in my routine before I wrote my book was the urban intervals. And I would cycle through different ones. Those are the ones, I think page 115 or 125 or something like that. Right? That kind of thing. And I would go through the whole page. I would do a whole page of that and then go on with, that would be in the same place in the book, in the same place in the routine where it is in the book right now, after the articulation. And I have over the years added different articulating patterns like da 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 da, two on this and one on that and stuff like that. But yes, I think interval studies are a good thing to do. I was thinking the other day that there's just so much to practice, right? And I think if you don't have my accumulative concept, it can be such a burden to try to get all that stuff done. And I know that because that's my background. That's what I come from. It can be a burden, or you can cut too many corners. There's so much stuff to practice that if you're not doing my philosophy of accumulative practice, it can be one of those two things. Either you're going to cut corners because you can't do all of it every day. So you're going to end up not getting some of the stuff you actually need to get. And then if you're going to do all of it every day, that's also tough because it's just so much. And that's how I ended up coming up with this accumulative philosophy for practice. That's how I ended up doing that. It was in the 90s, and I wanted to get everything done every day, and it just wasn't possible. And my answer to that problem ended up being the beginnings of this accumulative concept. So anyway, anybody else? I am going to experiment and find different times. I think for now we're still going to do 1 o'clock, but if it happens like it did earlier today, um, I will shut it down because I don't want to stand here looking stupid for 15, 20, 30 minutes. And this really is supposed to be about answering people's questions. If people don't have questions, then and the thing is so the thing is that we have been having a lot of the Q and A's, so it might just be that the how people say the market is saturated. You guys might just have all your questions answered for now, right? Maybe people just don't have questions this week. So Sean says, copy and save that link, Mr. Lewis. This blew my mind. So yeah, the interval stuff is a big deal. All right. So I don't want you to have a wreck, Sean. And it looks like you're the only one participating. This kind of thing I used to take personally. I don't take this personally anymore. What I do is be there for people. And that's what I'm doing, is I'm being there for people. If there's nobody to be there for, well, then I get some extra time. In fact, what I did with the extra time today is I got a new duet recorded. It should be, I'm thinking, let me see, I have a new scheme now for my weekly videos. So this is the first Noel. So yeah, we're starting with the Christmas stuff. And I'm looking at this. I'm thinking it will probably be maybe, yeah, a week from tomorrow, I think. It depends on if I can get everything published quick enough. And then from that point forward, I'm hoping to have a new composition or arrangement published per week. And my new scheme here is that on Mondays, we're going to do performance videos like I've had with Ricky Diaz. I hope you guys like those Ricky Diaz videos. We've got another one coming out on Monday. And then Tuesday, we're doing You Play First Chair, which is part of the ensemble stuff. So it won't be this Tuesday because I always publish the ensemble recording first. So that'll be the following Saturday. Then the following Tuesday after that, we will have a You Play First Chair, a new You Play First Chair with the first Noel. And then tutorial videos on Wednesday. I think you guys are getting used to that already. We're on a series right now where we're doing not just the importance of listening, but we're taking a deep dive into listening. And we've published so far there's 8 videos in this listening series. That's how important listening is. You guys have heard me say it before. Listening is more important than practicing. So we've published so far 2 in that series. There's 8 of them. And then in December, we're going to have, on Wednesdays, we're going to have a series about trumpet culture. Then we're going to have score videos on Thursdays, Q and A on Fridays. Now, I might move the Q and A. I wrote this out before I decided maybe we might experiment with different times. I don't know. Maybe I'll just stick to 1 o'clock on Fridays. We'll see. Then the ensemble stuff, Now, when I say ensemble stuff, that's when you can see me on both sides of the screen, or if it's a trio, there'll be three of me. Sean says, I've been listening more than practicing lately. Hey, do you know what? That is not a problem. I have students that, like adult students that have, day jobs and families and stuff like that. And it's remarkable to see the progress they make even though they're not practicing. And I truly believe it's because they listen so much. They constantly have the music on. So yes, ensembles videos on Saturday and then hymns on Sunday. Um, so yeah. So this is a big deal. Because now that we're going to be, so that's why I published, or not published, but scheduled all those videos. I scheduled all of the hymns and I scheduled all of the tutorial videos. I call the videos on Tuesday, I call those trumpet tutorial videos, learning about trumpet. And so I published all of those. I keep saying published. I what do you call it? Scheduled every week up until the first of the year. So, and if you remember right, the reason I did that was so that I could um, spend more time practicing and more time writing music. And part of the process that I do for writing the music is actually recording the stuff and putting it on the videos. So, yes, we've got a long list right now of pieces that need to be published right now. Stuff that I just hadn't had the time to get done. So this is exciting. I'm glad we did it this way. And there's also some other things in the works I won't tell you, but I've also got other things in the works. Okay. Well, like I said, this was just an experiment. I wanted to see if more people would sign on if it was in the middle of the evening on a Friday night. And I might do some little pop-up. Maybe I'll have a new series called Pop-Up Q and A. We'll have the regular Q and A on Fridays at 1 o'clock. That's Houston time. And then maybe we'll start adding a pop-up Q and A. So, and without warning, I'll just start a new live stream. I'll put a different thumbnail on it so everybody knows it's a pop-up. Anyway, I'm just thinking out loud here. We'll see what happens. All right. Well, very good. Nice to see you, Sean. And we'll see. I mean, like I said, we'll probably still do Friday at 1 o'clock. Okay. So thanks for joining us, Sean. And I see some other people are on here, but we don't know who they are because they're not participating. Okay. All right. Well, very good. We will see you on the next Q&A, whenever that is. Okay. God bless you and have a great weekend. Bye.